welcome back to another video. Since I did my last favourites video last year, you guys requested like more of like a quarterly one, or if I could do them more often, so this is my Q1 favourite. Honestly, as much as I know that you guys love when I don't like something and when I talk about things I don't like, nothing makes me happier than recommending a really fucking good product to you guys, or talking about the things that I genuinely really love, and I feel like I don't always get to do enough of that. So I really enjoyed doing this video last time, and I hope you guys are going to enjoy this one. I've got a huge mixture of shit in this video, by the way. Like, there is a big variety, so there's a lot of things to go over. Some of things I have to hand, some of things I don't, sadly, which we will get onto in the video. Okay, so first things first, I want to start off with some clothing bits. By the way, when I'm going through this video, I don't want you guys to think if I'm not mentioning something again in this video, you fake asshole, it was in your last favourite. I don't want to be that person that has new holy grails for every single category, every single quarter when I'm going through these videos, but I also don't want to make you guys watch the same video over and over and over again. So the favourites in my last favourites video, still stand by every single one of them. Some of these might cross over, some of them might not. I can't exactly remember every single item I put in that video, but I know that some of these items I have loved for a long time, so there might be a slight crossover. But yeah, if I'm not mentioning them again, it's just because otherwise you guys are just watching the same video again. And I do have some new favourites to put into my pile. My Aritzia TNA socks. These are the best fucking socks I've ever known in my entire life. Like, every single time I go to the US, best believe I am bringing back another pair of Aritzia TNA socks. I get the grey ones. I think this is like the heather cloud grey or something, but it's that super light, like creamy, vintagey looking grey, and I just think it's the prettiest grey shade. Like, it just looks so vintage and so expensive. But my favourite thing about these is obviously they come in different heights. So I do own the crew socks, and then these are the best ever ankle socks, and the clothes and them guys are really on the best ever fucking socks. But I like both heights. It's not really to do with that, more so the quality of these socks. I started buying these last summer, I want to say, when I went to America, and I always used to think, because I'm a shoeless bandit in the gym, right, I was getting holes in my socks because, Amy, you're wearing no shoes to the gym. Like, obviously your socks are rubbing up against that gym floor, which is like rough in texture, it's not smooth, obviously you're going to get holes in your socks. So I just thought it's my own fault why I'm getting holes in socks. It was the socks, it was not me, because I have worn Aritzia TNA socks pretty much exclusively. I've worn my Alphalete socks a couple times since, but I honestly have realised I much prefer these, and I feel like these stand up better over time as well, being a shoeless bandit in the gym. But I have pretty much worn these exclusively since I started buying them last summer, and I have not put a single hole in my Aritzia TNA socks yet, which is unheard of for me being a shoeless bandit in the gym. So I think I've come to the realisation that actually, even though I did love the height of the Alphalete socks, I actually don't think they were necessarily the best, but I just thought it was my own fault because I wasn't wearing shoes in the gym, so it felt unfair to judge them on that. But these, if you are a shoeless bandit in the gym and you are sick of putting holes in your socks, the Aritzia TNA socks are the socks that you need in your life, quite frankly. Like, these socks are really fucking good. So we're starting off strong with a good old pair of socks. Moving on, this is more of like a much more recent, I don't know if discovery is the right word, but it's garage clothing, and it's two very basic items. First item, which is definitely in constant rotation for me, and I think I've got 4 of these. I've got the lemon colour, the white, the black, and a dark green as well. It's just the garage basic Camisole tank. It's super basic, I'm not gonna lie. There's no built-in shelf liner, there's no padding, they're not double lined, there's no adjustable strap, and if I was to pick holes in it, I would say I would like it a tiny bit longer. I'd say you can stretch it to full length, but it does do that thing where it pings up on the hips. Quality and like fabric and how well these are washing for price is insane. I feel like in the UK it's really hard to find stuff like this, which sounds dumb because it's just a cami top. We do have camisole tops, it's not that we don't sell them, but they're usually not made out of these kinds of fabrics. This is like a buttery brushed fabric. I feel like over here our tank tops tend to be cotton, they tend to be ribbed, and therefore you get much worse sheerness. Like, this lemon colour is still sheer, but it's nowhere near as bad as it would be if it was in a cotton fabric, and the fit's never as good, and they sort of bag out through the day with a cotton top, whereas these don't. They are definitely figure hugging. In terms of sizing for these, I wear a size small. You can size down if you want to, but you definitely don't have to. But these are so easy to throw on, great value for money. Like, these were not pricey at all in comparison to other brands that are basically doing the exact same thing. Even though they don't have adjustable straps, I recently bought a tank, which shall not be named, from a brand which didn't have adjustable straps, and it did have the whole shelf built-in liner, and it was very expensive. I believe it was over £40. Those straps are so uncomfortable, and they have like this really ugly like big chunky bit where the strap meets the top, but these ones don't have that. They're nice and flat, so if you want to layer them then you can. Garage Camisole tanks are definitely a current favourite of mine. I've been wearing them pretty much every day, day to day. I'm just rotating between colours, but I do think my favourite colour out of all of them is this like butter lemon yellow, which is very trendy at the moment. It's very on trend, it's very spring, very Easter. Okay, my other favourite that I picked up in Garage, these are the straight legs, but I actually would say if I had to pick one, I would go with the Cuff Ultra Fleece Slouchy Boyfriend Jogger. So I have the cuffed ones and I also have the straight leg version. First of all, if you are tall, these are the joggers that you will need, especially the straight legs. Like the straight legs are so long, and they don't shrink with wash. Like I've washed these 3 to 4 times now and they've not shrank at all. Now in my last favourites video, I think I did mention my Aritzia sweat fleece joggers, and at the time I was really loving them, but I've washed them a lot more now and they have not held up anywhere near as well as they should have done for the price. They've started pilling, they've started bobbling, and those were like way more expensive than these were. I think they were almost double the price, and they've also shrank significantly, and with them being a straight leg, they were just about long enough in the long to start with, and then because they've shrank up now, I kind of have to wear them really low on the hip, low enough, otherwise they are way too short on me. These are honestly a very similar vibe. I wouldn't say they're quite as thick, they are definitely a little bit thinner, but it's a very similar vibe to Aritzia sweat fleece joggers, but these don't shrink as much, and I feel like they're washing better. So far so good. And also it's the grey shade as well. This is like that perfect like vintagey looking sort of grey shade, which I just absolutely love. Like for a tracksuit, I just think it's the nicest colour. So I do love the straight legs, but I would say the cuffed are my favourite. The shaping on them is honestly really nice. They're quite like puffy around the hips, and then obviously they just cuff at the bottom, and even the cuffed ones are plenty long enough. And they have a drawstring and it's on the inside so you can tuck it away. They've got pockets, and I wear a medium in them. I would say to recommend, if you want a really oversized look, that you do go up one size. I've got a medium in the cuffed and the straight legs, but in a medium I love the size on me, love the length on me, love how they fit, love how they've washed. The inside of them, if you were curious, is just like the typical fleecy brushed lining. Now it is a little bit of a curveball for me because everyone knows I like notoriously love a heavyweight sweat, but I would say this is probably the first lighter jogger that I've really loved. It's not lightweight, but it's also not heavyweight either, but they sit really nicely for not being heavyweight, and especially the cuffed ones, they don't look crinkly. The shaping on them is just really nice, and I honestly really like them. I wish we had Garage in the UK, but I know that a lot of people that watch these videos are in America or Canada, so for once I have something that you guys can easily get your hands on. So yeah, the Garage joggers and the Garage camis have been in constant rotation for me. They are so comfortable. The fit of them is really nice, and they just come in like the perfect colours. Like the green is so nice in the camisole, butter lemon's so nice. The joggers come in like the nicest kind of like light vintagey creamy almost grey mild shade, which I just think is so feminine in comparison to like the prison greys or like standard greys that brands tend to go for. Like I just don't understand why they use those greys. They're not feminine at all. They're just not. Only thing I will say is the crotch area on the joggers is quite long. Personally, it doesn't bother me because I like a big oversized jogger, but if that's going to bother you, might not want to size up. You might want to stay true to size. The other thing that I'm now going to go over, which will annoy the American people because you can't get it in America, is my Wrstbhvr Diego zip up hoodie. Now I bought this in this colour. I'm going to put it on the screen because I can't remember the name of it, and I've had the black one for like over a year now in a medium, but that's actually a bit too big. So when they launched new colours, I bought a small and it was the perfect size. So do not size up in Wrstbhvr hoodies, especially the Hako and the Diego. You really don't need to size up in them. They come oversized, they come huge. Unless you want them massively oversized, I would not recommend that you size up in them. They come plenty oversized, as is true to size. However, I don't actually have it to show you because I actually left it in America. and it's lost. So I've lost that hoodie and I'm so annoyed with myself. But if you've been watching my vlogs, you will have seen since I got that hoodie, it very rarely came off my back. Like the fact I took it to Texas, which it's a very heavy hoodie, like it's the heaviest, highest quality hoodie that I own. It's volumes because I didn't really need it there, and I'm kind of gutted that I took it because I really shouldn't have, because I've left it and now I don't know where it is and now I've lost it. But I am going to rebuy that hoodie, which speaks volumes about how good it is, because first of all, it's very expensive. Like, I'm so annoyed at myself for leaving it. I feel like with hoodies and stuff, they're usually quite interchangeable, and if I lost any of my other hoodies other than my Wrstbhvr ones, I probably wouldn't replace them because there's nothing special about them. There's nothing like out of the ordinary. I can just get another hoodie from somewhere else and it'll be very similar. I am not joking when I say the Wrstbhvr, Hako and Diego hoodies, I cannot find quality like that anywhere else, which makes sense because they are definitely on the pricey side for sweats, but I cannot rave about those enough. They wash well, they don't peel, they don't start going funky in the wash, the cuffs don't start pilling, they don't shrink up a ton. I think they shrink slightly over time, but it's nothing major. The zip on the zip ups is so well done and it's so smooth and they just sit so nicely. Like, it's structured, it's heavy, it's got weight to it, but it's also soft and brushed on the inside, so it doesn't feel uncomfortable to wear. It's still a very cozy hoodie to wear. Honestly, whenever anyone messages me, which it's actually shocking the amount of people that have bought those because they are so expensive, like, being able to influence someone to buy something that's £20 is very different to being able to influence someone to buy something that's over £100 that they can't feel before they buy. The amount of you who have bought those hoodies off my recommendations, and I've not actually had a bad review from anyone who's bought them. So if someone has bought it and not liked it, they've just not told me, but the feedback I've had on them has been incredible. I've had people putting them on like birthday lists, Christmas lists, and always messaging me afterwards and being like, oh my god, like, these hoodies are unreal. They are unlike anything else on the market, and that's why I will always spend that money. And also, with them being on the pricier side, you don't need that hoodie in every single colour. It's a sort of hoodie where you might have one, you might not even have two. I have two because I'm a hoodie fanatic, but you might not even have two, you might just get one and done. And I'm not joking, that hoodie, if you wanted to pass it on to your children and your grandchildren, I'm pretty sure you could. Like, they are incredibly durable and incredible quality. So yeah, the Wrstbhvr Diego zip up, and I need to rebuy it because I lost mine in America. I'm so annoyed at myself. Okay, I'm gonna move on to more like normal clothes, like out and about sort of clothes, not just chill stuff. The one thing that I want to mention, which I'm not going to show you because I feel like it's just pointless, I'll do a try on clip, is my mango wool, Manteco wool trench coat. Not trench coat, just long coat. It's not a trench, I don't know what they call it, but my long mango coat basically. I bought this coat at the back end of last year. I got it in December, and it is without a doubt one of the best outerwear pieces I have ever bought. I still love my Tala bomber that I got last year. I would also highly recommend that. I've got the reversible puffer slash bomber style jacket, and I also still love my Frankie shop jacket, but I feel like now I've really got my outerwear stuff covered. I've got my puffer for my casual stuff, but it looks good. It's not shiny, it's matte, it keeps me really warm, it's a nice shape, it's sort of like cocoon sort of looking. I've got my Frankie shop bomber for when I want like a casual jacket that's not a puffer, but I don't want something long, but I want something that has a little bit of something to it, which I spoke about in my last favourites video, so I won't bore you with it again. And then I've got my long coat covered now. That coat is so nice, such good quality. The fabric on it is really nice, the fit of it is really nice. I feel like with those long like duster style coats, I feel like they either look way too structured to the point where it looks like you've just clocked off from work or you go into a meeting, which I don't love that look, or they were so relaxed and so slouchy that they looked like a dressing gown and they just didn't look quite right. Mango one, in my opinion, just straddles between the two perfectly. It has a good amount of structure without being too like broad and boxy, and it also has like a good amount of relaxedness to it without looking flimsy and like you've gone out in a dressing gown basically. And I have had every single time I've posted in that. We're going into spring now, so I feel like I need to mention it now. I might not get a chance to use it throughout the summer, but I am not joking, every single time I post in that coat I get messages saying, where is this coat from? It's so stunning. I love wearing it over tracksuits to like I just feel like it gives model off duty vibes. And I also just love wearing it with my baggy jeans, trainers, baggy jeans and Uggs with like a simple top underneath. And it's one of those coats like my Frankie shop coat where you don't really need much of an outfit underneath it. The coat kind of is the outfit, and that with like a cap. I loved wearing my Pepper Mayo burgundy cap with it. I just feel like it gives chic, and I fucking love that coat. So that's definitely another favourite. I definitely mentioned these in my last video, but I feel like I can't not mention them again. It's the Zara mid-rise wide leg jeans, and I've now had these 2 years, maybe a little bit longer than 2 years, and they've lasted really well. Obviously I do have damage to the bottom, which is fraying, but that's just my fault because they are actually a bit too long for me and I never got them hemmed. So if I'm not wearing a chunky enough shoe, then they do drag on the floor, so that's my own fault. But in terms of everywhere else, like buttons haven't come up, zips haven't bust, I've not ripped them anywhere. They've genuinely stood up so well over the past 2 years, which I don't always feel is the case with stuff from Zara. So I do size up in these. This is like a black vintagey sort of colour, and I have the blue and the grey as well. So I get these as in an EU 38, so I do go up 1 or 2 sizes, and I would highly recommend doing that because these don't have stretch. They are a stiff denim. I feel like people always ask me with jeans like, how do I find ones that are flattering on the bum and all that sort of stuff? For me personally, I feel like when I was so obsessed with finding jeans that were really flattering on the bum, having me buying jeans that were honestly quite ugly, they were a bit of an eyesore. Like I feel like jeans that have stretch to them are sometimes just not, I feel like something about them just looks off sometimes. I much prefer a rigid denim where I'm having to size up, and it might not be the most flattering fit on the glutes, but I just feel like it looks so much better. And again, every time I post in these jeans, loads of people messaging me on Instagram saying, where are the jeans from? Every time I post in them, where are the jeans from? It's the Zara mid-rise wide leg. Only thing I would say is these are incredibly long, so if you're shorter, they might be too long for you. I wish Zara would do different lengths. I feel like they don't. I feel like they do in some stuff, and then in other stuff they don't, or like some colours are longer than others. So it's definitely worth trying these on in person if you can to get the sizing right. But best jeans I own, and I'm obsessed with them. I get compliments on them and I love wearing them. Final thing, which is a little bit random, but it's these heels, which I have in this like winey kind of red colour, and I also have them in black. They are from Simmi London, and I got them at the back end of last year. I got them just before I went to London on my girls trip. I love these shoes. I would say they're like a little bit more than a kitten heel. They're not super small, but they're also not super tall. They're a mule, so you just kind of slip them on. They're super easy to get on and off, and you're not going to have any like blood circulation cutting off around your ankle. A little bit of cushioning. They're not super comfortable, but they're also not uncomfortable to the point where I want to like rip my feet off. Look so nice when they're on your foot, and they're so easy to put on, and I kind of love how they're squared off at the bottom here. And the main thing with these honestly is they were just so cheap. The only thing I will say about Simmi shoes or like Ego or any of those sort of online brands for heels, I always have to size up in them. Like these are a 5, I'm a 4 in all my other shoes. My shoes I feel like I'm a 3 in, but in heels from all these brands I have to get a 5. I feel like they come up incredibly small. So that's the only thing I would say to size up. But I just love these. Like you can dress these up with a dress and it looks really nice, but also if you're wanting to wear a more casual outfit, and I did this at the weekend, I literally wore these, a really casual top and then these heels. It just adds, first of all, a little bit of a pop of colour, but it's also just elevates the outfit slightly without being uncomfortable. They're not too tall, they're easy to walk in. Yeah, obviously after a few hours they do hurt your feet, but it's nothing crazy, it's nothing super uncomfortable, and I just bloody love these shoes. I just think so easy and so simple, and also more importantly very affordable. So yeah, I will try and find the style and link them, but in general I would say out of all those brands for shoes, I have the best experience with Simmi. I always have a pretty bad experience with Ego shoes, to be honest. I don't know if they're still even going anymore, but Ego and Public Desire I had some pretty bad experiences with. First like going out heels were a brown pair of lace-up shoes from Simmi London. Comfiest heels I've ever owned, and they lasted me like 4 years before they went like completely broken, like the sole came away. But that was 4 years of like heavy going out as well, because it was when I was at uni, before I went away to uni, when I was going out in Leeds all the time and in Newcastle, and I would pretty much always have those shoes on. So yeah, they do definitely last a good amount of time for like a £20, £30 pair of shoes as well. So yeah, these, cute. Okay, moving on, just very quickly, I want to just go over some activewear pieces. I've picked 2 only. You guys know, like, contour shorts, always love. Strappy bra, core bra, love. But these are the 2 things that I have been most impressed with recently. So the first thing for, like, my gym wear is the Revive shorts from Alphalete. Honestly, the colour palette is not my favourite, but I did end up buying the black myself, and I forgot how good an all black gym fit looks, and this is just such a sleek outfit together. But the Revive shorts, in my opinion, are perfect for people who want less compressive waistband. Like, if you're familiar with Alphalete and Amplify, it's very compressive. It's like gut-wrenchingly tight, and it's very sort of squishes you up. And for me, I'm petite in my midsection, but I'm definitely not shredded, and I do have body fat in that area. So sometimes contour, I love it on the glutes. I don't always necessarily find it the most flattering when I'm moving around, when I'm walking, when I'm sitting down. Looks great stood still for a picture. That moving around, I do find that I can find it quite self-conscious in those, and you will very rarely catch me, like if you watch any of my workouts, anything like that, it's very rare that you will catch me wearing contour shorts and just a sports bra. And it's honestly, I feel like it's kind of because of that. Still love my contour shorts, and I still think they are insanely flattering on the glutes. With Revive, they are stiffer, like the waistband is stiffer and it doesn't stretch out this way as much, but once on, they are nowhere near, in my experience, nowhere near as compressive as contour, as regular Amplify is, and I just find it so much more comfortable. It's not digging in as much. I can sit down without like it completely spilling my guts sort of feeling when I sit down, and I just find them incredibly flattering. The leg on them is on the tighter side, so there's a little bit of a mini butt push up in them. I won't go too into it because this isn't an Alphalete video, I'm just mentioning them. There's a mini butt lift in them, which I don't think does that much, but the leg area in general, especially around the thigh on the shorts, fits a lot tighter, so it's like it's giving you that lift up to the glutes, and then the waist is a much more comfortable fit, which I almost feel like is more flattering. It's just not squeezing me to the point where it's making me look like I have things that I don't have, and just not that flattering. I honestly feel like if you have more of a soft stomach, even if you have a smaller waist but more of a soft stomach and you feel self-conscious in Amplify sometimes, I would strongly recommend trying Revive. The colour palette isn't my favourite. I would much prefer some more neutral shades in it, but I bought the black myself and I'm really impressed with them. Also, the material on these holds up so much better, and they tend to fare better for sheerness as well. They're not quite as like stretchy, soft, slinky. It will depend on what colour and batch you get, but in general, much more comfortable on the waist and a little bit tighter in the leg, so it gives a little bit more of a lift. Second thing is the Aritzia butter tops. So I've got the long sleeve in white, which I've definitely mentioned a million times on here. The way for Revive, I wear a size small, I go true to size, and in these I go down a size, I wear an extra small in them. But this fabric, it's like buttery soft, obviously the clue's in the name, so you can get pilling over time and it can bobble, but mine honestly haven't been too bad. They've washed quite well. But what I love about these is they're single layered, so they're not double lined, so you're not getting that added bulkiness. I just don't find flatters your figure. Like, it's literally adding width to you from that double layering, and I don't find it that flattering, and I can never get it to fit properly to my waist when it's double layered. These are single line, but because it's that buttery fabric, they're not sheer at all. Like the black, I could honestly wear this without a bra very comfortably. It's not see-through at all, and it just looks so slick and so sleek. This is definitely a full length. It's not a long full length, like it doesn't cover like half of my bum, but it does go like to the bottom of my hip bone, and I have a longer torso, so it's definitely for most people going to be like a true full length top. Wear them in the gym, out the gym, day to day. I absolutely love them. So those are like my 2 activewear faves, and then obviously still loving contour, still loving strappy bras, still loving the basic scoop neck tops, and still loving my core bras as well. Okay, whilst we're on gym, watching my vlogs, you already know, Ghost pre-workout. I love their pump pre-workouts. It's my favourite pre-workout. I just think flavours that they do are the best when it comes to flavours. Like, no one can convince me otherwise, and I've tried most brands at this point. These they know how to do a flavour, and they know how to do a flavour well. The pink lemonade is amazing, the sour strips is amazing, and then this one is definitely catching up as a favourite for me. It's the passion fruit one. So with me, I love passion fruit, like I love the fruit, but I find a lot of passion fruit flavoured things, they're either way too tangy and sour and it's like, oh, it's really bitter, or they're way too sickly sweet, creamy, like porn star martini sort of vibe, which I honestly don't find even that realistic to passion fruit. It's so refreshing. It's like the perfect mix of tangy and sweet, and it's so refreshing. Like, this is my go-to pre-workout at the moment. I've pretty much used it for every single leg day. Like you can see, I've put a really good dent in this tub. I've got about half of it left. There's no caffeine in them, there's no beta-alanine in them, so you're not going to get an energy rush, and you're also not going to get a itchy feeling or a tingling anywhere. What you are going to get is an increase in blood flow to your muscles. That's what it helps with, and the more water you drink this with, the better it will work. So it will give you a better pump, and with it having that increased blood flow, it can help with your mind muscle connection, which can in turn just make you enjoy your session a little bit more. And these are my favourite kind of pre-workouts. So the Ghost Pump pre-workout in passion fruit has been a staple for me, and it's perfect for summer. Like, this is such a good fucking flavour. And again, if you've been keeping up with the vlogs, this will not come as a surprise. The ESN Clear Whey. Top two flavours for me that I've tried so far are the mango peach iced tea, and then I recently switched to the strawberry lime one. Not because I don't like mango peach iced tea anymore, but I feel like if you have anything too much, you get sick of it. So it's not that it's a bad flavour, you just get sick of it. I ordered a sample of strawberry lime, and oh my god, this tastes exactly like Calippo shots. You know, those little like ice lolly ball things. It tastes the exact fucking same. So I've been loving this in just like a cold glass with ice, but I've also been making ice lollies. I do 1.5 scoop 400 ml of water, and it makes me 6 ice lollies. There's like 30 calories in each, and about 6 or 7 grams of protein in each. They are absolutely banging, and with those being frozen, it tastes exactly like Calippo shots. And I can imagine if you made like an ice slushy with this, it would be delicious. I just think in terms of like flavours for clear ways, ESN definitely by far the best on the market. Like, they just dropped a blue raspberry one, which apparently tastes exactly like a slushy. So I'm thinking, hear me out, we do blue raspberry slush, 25 grams of protein, strawberry lime slush, 25 grams of protein, put them together, giant slush, 250 calories, 50 grams of protein. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? That would be such a delicious summer snack, and I just think these are yummy. And also they are lactose free, which is another thing that I love because I am lactose intolerant. So these are lactose free, doesn't hurt my stomach, doesn't give me issues, doesn't give me headaches, doesn't make me feel sick, doesn't make me feel bloated. I just think these are delicious, and they've got so many flavours. This is another favourite, which is quite random, but I feel like I can't not talk about it. This is the Hollander Chocolate Company white chocolate sauce. I got this as a present for Christmas because, fun fact, now by the way, when I say this, obviously if you make a white chocolate matcha and you think it tastes like Blank Street, that's fine, but they do not use the 18 something white chocolate syrup. That's not what they use. This is what they use in their white chocolate matchas. And I found this out literally a year ago with Nicole. She asked the guy in Blank Street, she was like, what do you use in that? And I love the white chocolate matcha. It's one of my favourites from Blank Street. And he literally just said it's this. So it's the Hollander white chocolate sauce. Very difficult to find and very expensive, but like, you're not going to burn through this, because I don't know how many pumps they use, but for me personally, I only use one pump when I'm making it at home, and that's plenty. I use this, I use the Genki matcha, and I use oat milk, and it tastes the exact same as a Blank Street to me. This, I would probably also put Genki matcha in the favourites as well, but it's downstairs. But that matcha, this oat milk ice, literally Blank Street dupe, tastes the exact same. And yes, this is expensive, but if you think about it like cost per use, it's a lot cheaper than going to Blank Street every day. Not that I could anyway, because I don't live close enough to one. I mean, it's ridiculous, don't get me wrong, it was very expensive and it's very hard to get your hands on. Like I said, especially because this is a thick syrup, this does not come out like water like other syrups do. You are not going to burn through this. Like, it's probably going to take me a very, very, very long time to use this up. My white chocolate matches Blank Streets at Home. I'm absolutely loving this. That's just stuck to my hair, and now I've probably got white chocolate sauce on my hair. Brilliant. Okay, speaking of hair, before I forget, this is how I've done my hair today. These are the Bouncy Blow Dry Company rods. I've only had these like 2.5 weeks, but I'm not joking, this may just be changing how I do my hair forever, because I'm sorry, no heat was used on this. No heat. I did tame my bangs ever so slightly with my air wrap, but other than that, absolutely zero heat used on my hair for a very similar outcome. These are from the Bouncy Blow Dry Company, and I just do the typical heatless rod style, so it looks like 2 or 3, because it does come with 3 rods, donuts on your head. It comes in like a microfiber towel sort of fabric, and these don't have clips, which I thought they did. So then when I ordered them and they came, I was like, oh, like these obviously won't work because they don't have clips. But I've bought probably 3 different sets of heatless rods before, and these are the only ones I've found that work. The other ones had clips, but they were silky. Because they were silky, my hair, even though it was clipped, like you'd roll it over and then there was a clip here, it just fell out during the night, and it just was not working for me at all. But yeah, the Bouncy Blow Dry Company, there's no clip, but they grip just fine. The only thing I will say is if you do them too tight, it will really hurt your head. You feel it pulling on your head. Literally just loosen the end a little bit and it will feel so much more comfortable. But I have no issues sleeping in these. I find it really, really comfortable. I just put like a silk pillowcase on my head after and tie it in a bobble, and my hair comes out like this. 10 out of 10. Highly, highly recommend. And it's the only ones I've found that work, and I have very long hair as well and very thick hair, and they stay in. I've not had a single incident of these falling out overnight yet. Okay, my mum asked me the other day, she was like, Amy, this is empty, why can't I put it in the bin? I said, Deborah, we're filming a favourites video, we can't put it in the bin yet because I need to have something to show them. It's the Living Proof Perfect Hair Day High Shine Gloss. Now, some of you, if you are eagle-eyed and may remember when I bought this, and I said, I don't think it's worth the money, I don't think it's doing anything. I've changed my mind, it does work. Use this on my hair when I just want it to look extra glossy. Like, you know when you go to the hairdressers and you get a gloss put on, or they just wash your hair in a way that just makes your hair super shiny? It gives me that. The only gripe I have with it, and as you can see it's empty, and I have gone through 2 bottles of this now, is I feel like to get the true shine, you do have to use a lot and really coat your hair in it. But when you do that, the shine on your hair, unbelievable. And I get so many compliments when I've used this. If I'm on Instagram talking, or if I post a picture, like I posted a 0.5 the other day, and like 4 or 5 people were like, oh my god, the shine on your hair is because of this. It's very like watery and thin, and it doesn't weigh your hair down or anything like that. It just gives it a beautiful shine. I just wouldn't bother with it if you're not going to style your hair after you've used it. Like, if you're going to use it and then just let your hair dry naturally, I don't feel like you get that same shine out of it. I feel like it works best when it's styled after. It doesn't have to be with heat, you could do heatless curlers, but with some form of styling, I feel like that's how it works best. 2 bottles through, 10 out of 10 recommend. And now, Deborah, we can put this in the bin. I feel like we're kind of on shower right now, so I'm gonna stick with that theme. The Inkylist Salicylic Acid Cleanser. My skin was acting the hell up at the start of this year. I had fungal acne and I had some form of dermatitis eczema, so I ended up taking limecillin. They put me on a course of that, which that was rough, not gonna lie. And they also gave me a like ointment to put around my mouth, and it cleared it up so quickly. But I genuinely feel like it was somewhat, he said it can't be anything that you've put on your skin, but I feel like last year I was fannying around so much, trying so much different skincare, and because I've never had skin issues, I feel like I thought my skin was invincible. So I just thought I could keep trying all these different things and it would never come back to bite me in the ass. But it really did. Like, my skin was getting really, really bad and it just kept spreading. Since then, I've stripped everything back, so I'll show you the bits that I'm using that are my favourites. But this cleanser has been my favourite cleanser honestly for like 2 or 3 years now. I just feel like it works. It never breaks me out. It never causes me issues. I don't feel like it's drying my skin out. I don't feel like it's doing anything bad. It's just like a bog standard cleanser, which sounds like why the fuck is it in a favourites, but every time I'm having issues with my skin, I come back to this and it just causes me no headaches. It's fuss free, it works really well, and I also feel like I don't get as much texture and stuff when I'm using this. When I go to other cleansers, I feel like that's when I start getting like little bumps under my skin. So this is my ride or die cleanser and I absolutely love it. Also very affordable. On to something less affordable. My favourite moisturiser at the moment is the Tatcha Dewy Water Cream. Now, if you were watching my vlogs last year, you will see I bought the Rich Cream. That ended up breaking me out. I loved it and I loved how it made my skin look, but guys, I could not deny it in the end. It was too thick for my skin and it was causing me to have breakouts. This was before the fungal acne gate, but I was getting like really big pimples all around my chin region, which I never ever got, and they only started coming up when I was using that. So I stopped using it and I switched to the water cream because I did some googling and a lot of people had that issue and then switched to this and they got on much better with it. I don't know why I didn't put 2 and 2 together, because my favourite moisturiser is Glow Recipes Plum One, which is very similar. It's more of like a jelly base. It's not heavy, it's not thick, it's a water cream basically, and it's very light while still being very hydrating, and they just seem to work so much better for me. So this is now my absolute favourite moisturiser. I've gone through probably 3 of these now. I just get the refill pot and I absolutely love it. It's very expensive, but in my opinion worth it. It causes me no issues. It feels really nice on my skin. It has like a nice sort of like essential oil sort of smell to it, and I just really like this moisturiser. So yeah, this has replaced the dewy skin cream for me. She was just a little too heavy for my skin, I guess. What can I do? And I also feel like going into summer, this is just really nice because it's really nice and light. It doesn't make me feel greasy and sweaty and stuff. Moving on to shower, I have 2 favourite body washes. One is the Naturium Glow Getter Multi-Oil Body Wash. I've gone through 2 of these now. Well, I'm saying 2. This is my second bottle and I've used this much. My skin, when I use this with like an exfoliating glove or a brush, this makes my skin feel phenomenal. Like I feel like smoother than a baby's butt when I've used this. It's like a very minimal scent. It doesn't really smell of anything, so don't buy it for that. But this just leaves me feeling so clean but in a moisturized way. And I also find when it comes to taking my fake tan off, I feel like because it's multi-oil, I feel like this helps me to get my tan off easier, and I just love it. I wouldn't say it's the most lathering body wash in the world. Like if you want one that goes really bubbly, I wouldn't say it's necessarily the best for that. It's quite thin and runny, but my skin just feels so resurfaced, healthy, smooth, not stripped when I've used this, and I absolutely love it. Like I said, I've gone through 1.5 bottles and I honestly feel like these are huge. They're such good value for money. They're not too much of an eyesore either, and I feel like because they're not so wide, they're just taller. They don't take up as much space in the bathroom either, which I absolutely love. But you want something that's going to leave your skin feeling soft, clean but not stripped, and just very smooth. Great body wash. If you are wanting a similar effect but you're wanting something with more of a scent, I bought this in America, and as you can see I've used like half of it, and I've only been back from America like a month, so I'm definitely really enjoying this. It's the EOS Cashmere Body Wash, Vanilla Cashmere. I find this very similar to this. It's just thicker and obviously it has a scent, and also I feel like this one does lather a little bit better, but it's very similar in the sense that it's not stripping at all. It feels very gentle on my skin. I don't feel like I'm drying my skin out when I use it. The only thing I will say, I like this scent, but this does not smell like the rest of the Vanilla Cashmere range, okay? It smells more like shea butterish and cocoa-ish than it does vanilla, so keep that in mind. It does not smell the same as the rest of the range, and it is a bit of a throw off because that's what you're expecting when you open it, but once you move past that, it's honestly a really nice like cocoa shea soapy sort of scent, and I really like it. I like how it lathers. It feels really smooth on the skin. It's not drying, it's not stripping, and I do find that this does leave a little bit of a lingering scent, so it's pretty decent for scent layering. But honestly, in general, scent layering I would say starts after the shower. I don't think body washes linger that long. Obviously, if you're in the UK, you probably won't be able to get your hands on this, but if you're in the US, I really like this. And if you are someone who finds a lot of body washes very stripping, I honestly feel like either of these you will get on with so well. You don't need both. I've just ended up with both, and I wanted to mention both because they are definitely my favourites. I honestly use them both in the same shower. Excessive, yes. Literally following on, same theme, I'd not realised I'd even done this. I have two favourite body care items. So first things first is, again, it's the Glow Getter range. This is the multi-oil body butter. I don't love this for scent, not my favourite thing about it. I would say it has like a very light, kind of fruity scent, but I wouldn't buy it for scent. It doesn't really linger, and it can smell a little bit like skincare-y, if that makes sense. It doesn't have a strong, really yummy scent to it. This body butter is the most, I've gone through like 4 of these now. This is the most moisturising, gorgeously whipped. It's not thick, but it's not runny. It's just like a gorgeously whipped body butter, and it leaves the most insane glow on your skin. When I put this on a night time, I feel still moisturised the next day. I feel like I've still almost got a sheen to my legs when I use this. Absolutely love it. Especially, my favourite time to use this is I will take all my tan off, and then I'll usually give my skin 1 day's break. I lather myself in this after I've taken my tan off, because obviously with it being multi-oil, it can break down your tan a little bit, so I wouldn't recommend using it if you fake tan every single day. When I do that, I'm not joking, my skin feels like the smoothest, butteriest, babyest butter skin, and it also has a really nice sheen and glow to it, and I absolutely love it. I just think it's very good value for money and an excellent product. This shits all over. Sol de Janeiro body butters are awful on my skin. They are drying, they are not moisturising, and the texture is so hard to rub in. It's like trying to rub a lump of butter into your skin. It just doesn't work for me. This craps all over them. Yes, it doesn't have all the scent profiles that they do, but in terms of like the actual quality and like the ingredients and how it makes your skin feel, this in my opinion is what that should have been for like the hype that it gets, if that makes sense. So yeah, I absolutely love this. When I was in America, you guys know I've got a long-standing love with my EOS Vanilla Cashmere lotion. I've put so many people onto it and I just love it. When I was in America, I found out that they now have a whipped oil butter. But I actually had my American friend Taylor send me over 3 tubs. Obviously I paid her. She sent me over 3 tubs of this because on TikTok Shop they are charging £30 a tub for this. This is $10 in America, okay? So I had her send me over 3 tubs. This is obviously a sealed one. So that is a testament to how much I enjoy it. This, to me, and I will always love my Vanilla Cashmere lotion, and I will probably go back to it when these run out because I'm not going to be shipping this over all the time. It's a bit of a farce. If you do not find that moisturising enough, which I personally do, but if you want something a bit heavier, I feel like this is like the Naturium multi-oil body butter. The Vanilla Cashmere lotion had a baby. I feel like it has a similar moisturising ability to this, but the scent obviously of the Vanilla Cashmere, which is, some people say it smells like yogurt. I think it's like a personal thing. You either love it or you don't. I personally just think it smells like vanilla. This is what it looks like on the inside. It's very whipped and very thick, but I just feel like this gives me, Vanilla Cashmere lotion does give me a sheen, but the sheen that this one gives me is just so much more like long lasting, and I just feel like this does feel more intensely moisturizing, which makes sense with it being a butter, and I just absolutely love it. Like, I just feel like it gives me a really nice glow, and it gives me the scent, and it gives me a bit of extra moisturization. So I honestly can't pick between the two because I don't always want to smell like vanilla, but these two are my absolute top favorite like body products in terms of like lotions and moisturizers. And I fake tan a lot, which dries your skin out, so I need moisturizer, so I know what's good and what isn't. Like, my skin does tend to lean a little bit drier just because of the amount of fake tan I put on it. Love these. Speaking of tan, favorite fake tan, because I always get asked about this. This is the Loving Tan 2 Hour Express Ultra Dark, and this is the tan that I've been using recently. It says olive undertone. I don't think it is. It's more of like a red brown undertone than green. So if you really like your Bondi Sands you probably won't like this, but the colour I go in the sun, I always say with fake tan, pick one that is most close to the colour you go in the sun. That's probably going to look the best on you. I go like an orangey brown sort of shade. That's more the colour I go in the sun. This replicates that bang on. Like, this looks like me in like the height of summer if I've been on like multiple holidays. This is the colour that I go in the sun. So the Loving Tan 2 Hour Express Ultra Dark. I was loving the platinum, but with its, obviously we're getting into warmer weather now, so I might go back to it again. But in the colder months, it's just such a strong tan and it's very, very, very drying on the skin. And I was finding it was only lasting like 3 days before it was starting to crack and look a little bit funky. So I actually stopped using that one just because I felt like for the season it was just too dry, and I went back to the Ultra Dark 2 Hour Express, which I love. I do sleep in this, which you're not meant to do, but if you leave it on like 4 to 6 hours, it gives you a really nice colour. 2 hours, you're not going to get much of an ultra dark effect, but if you leave it on 4 to 6, you'll get a really nice effect. I slept in it for probably about 8 hours, 8-9 hours, which is probably a little bit too long, so it has like overdeveloped and gone quite dark. But 4 to 6 hours and you are going to be golden with this. It's pricey, but it works. Lasts me like 7 to 10 days. When it's ready to come off, it's easy to get off. I would just say if you're trying to get it off before it's ready, is quite a painful experience. But when it's ready to come off, it comes off pretty easily, no issues, no like insane scrubbing needed. But yeah, favourite fake tan hands down. I've been using this for years now and I love it. Okay, moving on, let's go on to scent. My favourite thing, my favourite thing. This is definitely, I feel like this is a different vibe to my other scents that I've shared before. Just to preface this, all my previous scents, my Louis V Attrape Reeves, which was in my last one, still love. Delina Exclusive, still love. Herbapura, still love. My Baccarat, still love. All those scents I still love. These are just some new favourites and things that I think are worth a mention. So I'm just going to mention it first, okay? I'm mentioning it again because this has stayed stocked in my scent wardrobe, if you will. I've gone through about 3 or 4 bottles of this now. It's Phlur Vanilla Skin. It's a body mist. It's a very peppery, woody vanilla. It's not a cupcakey vanilla. It's not a super sweet vanilla. It's something with a little bit more depth and like pepper and spice to it, but it is just so nice. It almost has like an SPF kind of beachy hint to it as well, but it is by far probably one of my favourite vanilla scents I've ever smelled. Don't bother with the perfume, it's no longer lasting and it's just more expensive. The body spray, if you spray it on clothes and hair, lasts quite well for me. It honestly lasts like 4 or 5 hours. It is a body mist, it's not a perfume, so it's not meant to be like beast mode, but what I will say is it's the only body spray I've ever had a compliment on, and I've probably had more compliments on scent when I've got this on than I have with like 50% of the perfumes that I own. So it definitely does project, but do keep in mind, like, I don't want to set people up for failure with this and be like it's beast mode. It's a body mist, okay? It is a lighter scent, but it's definitely a heavier scent profile for a body mist, if that makes sense. So if you really like your super sweet light body mists, I don't think you will like this. It is a little bit more intense and peppery, but it's just so good, and I feel like every time I spray it I get a serotonin boost. It smells so good. I still get plenty compliments on it and I just love it. It's my yeah, I'm not going to go on about it too much because it was in my last favourites video, but I'm still very much loving it. Next thing, which is also a body mist, but this one's a bit of a different one. This is the Jo Malone Wood Sage and Sea Salt body mist. So you can see it's got like a cloudy consistency. That's because this actually has like hyaluronic acid and some kind of like skincare ingredients in it. So it's a body mist, but you wouldn't want to spray it willy-nilly. You'd want to spray it directly onto your skin. And this gives, first of all, the nicest scent, but also the nicest glow. So you sort of spray it on like that and then you rub it in slightly. I will say, if you are someone who is subject to hating feeling like you've got something on your skin, or feeling a little bit oily, you probably won't like it because it does definitely have a bit of an oily feeling. Like where I've just rubbed that in with my hand, I'm like, let me just rub my hand on this blanket because it does feel a bit oily, but it gives you like the most gorgeous shine and it smells incredible. And this I used the hell out of when I went to Italy last year and through summer, which is how I've got half a bottle of it. It's just the most gorgeous, like fresh crisp, bright, clean scent. It's not cloying, it's not going to give you a headache. Strong, but not to the point where it's going to make you feel sick in the heat. And if you are looking for a clean girl scent for summer, I think this is amazing. And especially because it has that glow to it as well, and it's a bit of a body treatment. It's just such good value for money, and it's way, way, way better in terms of scent longevity than the perfume version is. So I highly, highly recommend this. I think it just smells like a clean, being by the sea, salty, rich woman scent. I don't know, I love the smell of it. I love the finish that it leaves on your skin, and I also just think it's quite a unique product, just in terms of like the scent profile, and it being a body mist, and then it also adding a bit of a glow, and it's got some skincare in there. Really, 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 really nice for summer, and it's not going to make you feel sick in the heat. Then we have my little teeny tiny little mist. This is Valaya Exlusif. So this is the exclusive version. I like the idea of the original. I like the theory. I like the scent profile, but oh my god, that gives me the worst headache and nausea I've ever had. Like, and I don't really get like that with many scents, but I think, I don't know if it's like the orange blossom in it or like the aldehydes. There's something in it that just gives me the worst headache and nausea, and it's such a shame because I don't think it smells bad. I actually think it smells really nice and I like it, but I cannot do that scent. So when they dropped the exclusive version, this is basically a little bit more vanilla, a little bit more powdery. Into perfume, and you smelt both of them, you'd think it's the same thing. So I'm getting that nice scent profile of the original without the headache and nausea. It's a little bit more toned down and a little bit like sexier, I would say. It's definitely a bit powderier, but not to the point. I feel like when you say powdery you think grandma. It's not a grandma scent. This smells, in my opinion, just like the ultimate clean girl scent without the headache, if that makes sense. Every time I smell this, I just think, wow, yum. And I've seen a lot of people complaining about the exclusive version, saying it doesn't last or project well. That's not been my experience. I actually went to Marks and Spencer's the other week, and when we came out of the car park, I was with my boyfriend. We were walking back to our car, and a woman literally wound down her car window. She was like, oh my god, I walked past you in the shop and you smell amazing. And I said to myself, I must ask her what she's got on, and obviously I've just bumped into you, so what have you got on? And I told her, and that's just someone walking past me in the supermarket. So it's definitely, for me, got great projection. I've had a lot of compliments on this. I would say it's one of my most complimented scents at the moment, and the longevity is really good as well. Like, if I spray this on myself, I can smell it hours later. If you spray it on clothes, you're looking at like days and days and days of scent on it. So I personally find the projection and longevity on mine to be really good. It's definitely a compliment getter, and when I was in Texas, I was actually wearing both these at the same time. So I was putting this on as like a mist and glow, and then this on top. These two, honestly, I feel like they shouldn't, because they're both quite strong, clean scents. They work so nicely together. This is like the ultimate clean girly combo for summer. So yeah, I really, 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 really love this, and I love, love, love this. This has definitely climbed into like one of my favourite perfumes of all time. I just think it's such a stunning scent, and it's just got a little bit more interestingness to it to my nose. It's a little bit less straight up clean laundry scent, and a little bit muskier, I would say personally. But yeah, try them both, see which one you prefer. This one is my favourite. And how cute is the Diddy little bottle? It's so cute. Also, I know that Parfums de Marly, and I've recommended that one and Delina exclusive. Now, I know they're incredibly expensive. I would never suggest that you go out and blind buy a perfume based off my scent. Please, based off my scent, based off my recommendation, never do that. It's a terrible idea, and you can end up wasting hundreds of pounds. Order from a sample website. I use Small Aromas, scented samples. Those are the two that come to mind. Order a sample, see how you like it on your skin, because things smell different on people's skin. Things smell different to different people's noses. Things last differently on different people. Things project differently on different people. Always sample first. Plus, you can get like a £300 scent for like £5 for a little sample of it, and you get to experience it that way and actually wear it, rather than spraying it on a piece of paper which isn't that reliable in terms of how it's gonna smell, last, etc. on you. Final body thing, I've been stepping outside a little bit more, so my Patrick Ta body balm has to get a mention, and I honestly feel like this is lasting me so well. When I got this I was like, that's barely any product, like there's literally nothing in there, but it's lasted me so well because I feel like you don't need to use loads of it. I've got the She's on Vacation one, but yeah, this gives me the most gorgeous glow. I use it with the Patrick Ta big like fat round brush that I think is designed to work with it. I'm pretty sure they sold them next to each other. It just gives the most gorgeous glow. It's like that sort of look to the skin, like if I rub my finger in it, it's like a glossy balm sort of look. And then when you put it on your skin, it just gives like the gorgeousest, like, it's not glittery, it gives you like a wet look to your skin, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like my camera never picks this up as good as it looks in real life. It just gives you like a really nice wet look to the skin. Any meal out, anywhere I'm going where I've got skin exposed and it's like an evening thing, I use it. Only thing that drives me insane is obviously it is oily, so your hair can get very greasy, especially if you put it on your chest. Your hair can get very greasy, and it does have colour to it, like it does have bronze to it, so it does transfer as well. So I tend to use it when I'm wearing black, and I need to pick up the lighter one for when I'm wearing lighter outfits, but I love it. It's lasted me really well, and honestly for that reason, pretty good value for money. Love, love, love. I feel like an outfit is not complete without a body glow, and this is a good one. Okay, I do have some makeup favourites. First thing is a makeup brush. This is the Sephora Pro Foundation 64 brush. This is unbelievable. Before using this, I was using more of like a flat top, almost like kabuki brush style brush. This is very different because it's very, I mean, it's dirty, so I need to clean it. But this one's very different because it's very like light and fluffy. It's not got that same like, I mean, it's densely packed, but it's not like a flat top brush. And I find the finish I'm getting on foundations with this is so much nicer. It gives me a much more natural finish, regardless of whether I'm using full coverage, minimal coverage. It just gives me a much more natural finish because it's obviously not so densely packed, and it's not going to densely pack the foundation on anywhere near as much. It gives me a much more natural finish. I feel like it really warms the product into my skin really nicely, and I just love how my foundation has been coming out since using this brush. And I wasn't sure I would love it, but I don't think I will ever go back to like more of a flat top brush for my foundation ever again. This brush has been game changing for me, and I've washed it a few times now and I've had no shedding, no issues. It's got like a really weighty handle and it's just perfect. I absolutely love it. Works well with stick foundations, works well with liquids, works well with creams. It's an all-round great brush and I love it. Yeah, Sephora 64 Pro Foundation brush. Next we've got Haus Labs blushes. I've got two, but I'm shouting out the Glassy Hibiscus one, which is what I've got on today, because on my skin tone this looks so boring in here, like it looks so mauvey, but on my skin tone, especially when I've got my fake tan on, this is like the perfect pinky bronze blush for me. Like, I've got it on today and I just feel like it's so natural looking. It still has that pinkness to it without being too pink, and it blends in with my bronzer really nicely. On my skin tone this is like a bronzer and I love it. The finish of these as well is, it's so fucking good. It's, yeah, I mean, they call it Glassy Hibiscus. It's like a glassy, glossy finish to the skin, which again, I prefer more of like a natural, glowy, dewy sort of look, and this gives me that. It is just sensational, and I feel like honestly this is going to last me a really, really, really long time, because it just feels like I could never use all of this up. So I will keep you posted on how long it takes me to use this up. But yeah, Haus Labs Glassy Hibiscus balm blush, I think, Colour Fuse Glassy Blush Balm, unreal, 10 out of 10. Love it. Final makeup thing is this Tower 28 setting powder, which is just, I got the translucent one. It's just a translucent setting powder, and I wasn't like blown away by this at first, but the more I'm using it, the more I'm realizing this gives me a nice natural finish. I know that everyone loves the Charlotte Tilbury setting powder, but every time I use that I feel like it makes me look cakey. And I love a loose setting powder, but I feel like I always like to have a pressed one, because first of all it's easier to carry around with me for like touching up during the day, but second of all I like using both. but for like gym days and stuff, I've just been using this on its own, and it's like the perfect level of mattifying without making me look dry. I don't look chalky, it doesn't look cakey. Even though it's pressed, it feels very finely milled. I don't know if that's even correct, but that's the only way I can describe it. It just feels very finely milled. It gives a really nice natural finish. I feel like it mattifies me and blurs while still allowing me to look natural, if that makes sense. So yeah, if you again like more of like a natural finish to your makeup and you don't want to be caking loads of powders on, I think this is a really nice powder. I personally much prefer this to the Charlotte Tilbury one. I don't know if they do a translucent one, but I just find, does anyone else find that it just makes me look really cakey, and I don't love it. This I love. Okay, final thing, which is a favourite, is my daily stoic book. Don't talk about religion and stuff much because I'm not religious. I don't subscribe to any particular religious beliefs, but I've always loved philosophy. I've always loved philosophy and ethics. I studied at school, like I chose to study it because I've always loved it. I find it fascinating. I just find it so interesting. And religion, I used to go to Sunday school, but I've just, maybe I will change my mind in the future and I'll come back round to it, but it's just something I've always kind of struggled to connect with. Philosophies and teachings in that sort of way where it's not religious, I find resonates with me a lot more. And the Daily Stoic, like, I'm not into reading. Like, I wish I could be, but I'm just not. It's not my thing. I can't concentrate for that long. This is so nice. Basically, you'll probably already all know about it, but it has a little message for each day. So it's literally just a page that you read each morning. So what date are we on today? We're on the 4th of April. So it just has a different teaching, and each month is categorized in a different way. So April's is all about unbiased thought, and then you've got a different teaching in each day. So today's is don't let this go to your head. It will give you like a quote and then it explains it. So today's, it says, make sure you're not made emperor. Avoid that imperial stain. It can happen to you, so keep yourself simple, good, pure, saintly, plain, a friend of justice, God-fearing, gracious, affectionate, and strong for your proper work. Fight to remain the person that philosophy wished to make you. Revere the gods and look after each other. Life is short, the fruit of this life is a good character and acts for the common good. Okay, and then the explanation is, it's difficult even to conceive of what life must have been like for Marcus Aurelius, which is like one of the main people for Stoicism. He wasn't born emperor, nor did he obtain the position deliberately. It was simply thrust upon him. Nevertheless, he was suddenly the richest man in the world, head of the most powerful army on earth, ruling over the largest empire in history, considered a god among men. It's no wonder he wrote little messages like this to remind himself not to spin off the planet. Without them, he might have lost his sense of what was important, falling prey to the lies from all the people who needed things from him. And here we are, whatever we happen to be doing, at risk of spinning off ourselves. When we experience success, we must make sure that it doesn't change us, that we continue to maintain our character despite the temptation not to. Reason must lead the way no matter what good fortune comes along. So that one's basically just about the clue's in the title, don't let things go to your head, and about remaining humble, and just because you might have certain things in life, it doesn't mean you're any better than anyone else. But like anytime I feel like I'm going off at the deep end, or just like finding myself getting more irritated by people, finding myself, you know, being a bit more judgmental of people, I feel like it just brings me back to base, if that makes sense, in a way that for me personally religion never has been able to. It just brings me back to base, and having those daily reminders just keeps me, I don't want to say grounded, my dad does enough of that, like my dad could humble Kanye West, it's nothing to do with that, but it just honestly keeps me sane, having those reminders that, you know, a lot of the teachings are to do with you are in control of how you deal with things and your situation and your life. Like, you shouldn't judge others. Like, if others, the whole thing of stoicism isn't like, oh my god, I'm so calm and so zen and everyone else is so erratic and I'm so much better than everyone. It's not about that. It's actually very much about not being judgmental of others, and I just love it. So yeah, you've got 366 meditations on wisdom, perseverance, and the art of living. And if you are someone who resonates with anything I've just said, I would recommend picking it up, especially if you're someone who is not a big reader. It's just nice to have that little daily reminder every day, and it's definitely my favourite, like, philosophy school line of teachings. Stoicism is definitely my favourite. So yeah, just wanted to put you guys onto that in case you weren't already aware of it, but I'm sure you all are because it's a very popular niche book. Final thing to mention before I go, M&S Green Herby Feta Dip. I'll pop it on the screen because I don't have one to hand. Go and get it. It's like the Green Goddess dip and Tzatziki had a baby. It is absolutely delicious. It's the best dip that they do and it's a 10 out of 10. I feel like sometimes the dips from Marks and Spencer's can be doing too much. I didn't love the Indian loaded one. I don't always love the ones that have got a lot going on. That gorgeous, gorgeous dip. My mum loves it, my dad loves it, I love it. Go and get it. It is just, oh, it's so good and I absolutely love it. Oh my god, another random thing which I've not mentioned. I got a walking pad a few months ago, maybe like 2 months ago now. That has to go in my favourites. It's the Deer Run Q1 Mini and it's very small. So I would say if you're tall, it might be a bit too small if you've got really long strides. I'm 5'6" and honestly I think if I was any taller it might be a bit too small. You might want to go for the full size, but relatively quiet for a walking pad, which I thought it was noisy, but I was voice noting one of my friends and she was like, oh my god, if I was on a walking pad it would sound so much worse than yours does right now. So it's relatively quiet. It's not foldable, but it's quite small and compact so you can easily store it up against a wall. It's easy to use and I have found, if you've not been watching my vlogs you won't know, I'm on like a cutting like body recomp journey at the moment and that has drastically, and I mean drastically, improved my step count, especially in the UK. We've got good weather at the moment, but usually we don't have the best weather and it can be very hard to get yourself out and about when it's literally teeing it down or when it's cold or when it's super windy. Just not the most appealing thing in the world. That treadmill walking pad shindig has got my steps through the roof. It has single-handedly been helping me to reach my step goal and I can't believe honestly that I didn't get one sooner. I love it. It's definitely an investment, but it's one of the best things I have bought in recent times. So yeah, the Deer Run Q1 Mini walking pad definitely makes it into my Q1 faves. So yeah, that is all my Q1 favourites. Let me know if there's any categories that I'm kind of missing in these that you would like me to talk about my favourites on, then do let me know and I will happily include those in future ones. Let me know if you want me to do these quarterly or you think like we're good for like just 2 a year, that's fine, or you want them more frequently. Let me know what your favourite perfumes are at the moment. Is there anything from the last one that I recommended that you've gone and picked up and loved? Because I would love to hear. I always sweat profusely when someone tells me they bought something based off my recommendation because I'm just like, the only thing I can ever promise you is I'll never recommend something to you that I don't love, but I can't promise you that you're gonna love it because we are different people, especially with scent. You might like something that I might not. I might like something that you might not. My deal and my promise is I'll never recommend something that I don't love, but I cannot promise you that you will love it. You must go out there and try things and form your own opinions. So yeah, let me know if you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. It massively helps me out. Leave a comment, subscribe if you want to and you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.